Hi everybody, and welcome to another After Effects tutorial. Today I will be showing you this cool effect. So you can use this technique for various things if you want to make one of those, hospital charts where the line thing moves up and down. You could do that with this. If you wanted to learn that cool glitch thing we have going on there, we'll go through that too, and these multicolored bars. So let's just get started with all of that. So we're going to start by making a new solid, and then onto that solid we're going to add the grid effect. Perfect. So here on top of our grid we're going to add a vector blur. Okay, and then just keep it exactly how it is and turn it up until you get those nice little the plus sign things in the corners. And so now if you want to change this grid, you can sort of play around with that a little bit, and I don't know, you can play with a few of the other things too. So something like that probably looks good. Okay, next effect we'll add is just a glow to sort of top everything off and give it a little bit of color too. We can tint this to like red and then set it to alpha channels, and then especially if we bring down this threshold we'll really see it start to glow. So now we have some color going on. So now the next thing we're going to do is add our effect that's going to add the little line things in it, and that is liquefy. So here we go, drag this on, and then this default tool, sort of just when you click on things, will drag it. If you click and hold, it'll sort of mess it up. So you can sort of play with a little thing like that and make a cool little distortion effect. Okay, so now we have some nice little wavy lines there. So now we're going to keyframe this across. So the distortion mesh offset, we're going to originally set this over here, and you can see how when we move it, it'll drag on. So we have this keyframed at the beginning, then by say 3 seconds it'll have gone all the way across. Perfect. And so we can watch this, and so now we have that sort of ripple effect. You can slow that down if you want, but I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. So then the next thing we're gonna do is add on mosaic. Here we go. And so right away you can't really see anything, so we're going to do sharp colors and then play with these blocks. And so at first we can bring the vertical blocks down to say 2. So that's 2 blocks going up and down and 499 going sideways. So then we'll keyframe both horizontal and vertical, and by a little bit in we'll increase this number so you get that cool distortion. And then we'll bring this down a little too, and then by 1 second we'll have it sort of correct itself so everything looks nice and normal. And so now if we play that, we get this little distortion, so that looks cool. So the next thing we'll do is add on Venetian blinds, and this will give us these little line things here. So we'll set it at maybe a 90-degree angle depending on the directions you want this these lines to go. So that's if you want them to go sideways. If you want them to go directly up and down, we can leave it at 0, how it was before. So then you can turn up the width a little if you want, and then what we'll do is keyframe either the transition completion, the width, or actually both. So I'm just going to keyframe the transition completion, and actually instead of keyframing we'll just do an expression. That'll probably work a little better. So alt click on transition completion, we'll do a wiggle expression, which means the value will, I guess, wiggle a little bit. So 2 times a second, say 50 numbers. And there we go. We have some variation on there. So the next thing we'll do is add on an RGB split. So I have another tutorial for doing a simple version of this, but the best plugin I have, Simple RGB Separation. This is free from redgiant.com as part of their Universe Pack, the free version. So, and that gives us a really cool distortion effect. So we can bring this down to close to 0, but offset it a little. You can animate this if you want. I don't think I'm going to. And why not? We'll drag it underneath. For that, it doesn't really matter. It just gives it a cool underlying glow there too. Speaking of glows, we will add on another one of those. And I just add on a glow anytime I needed to give it a little kick. So that looks good. And now I'll add on curves just to sort of brighten this up a little, and we can tweak the colors too. So now we're getting a completely different color scheme. So this looks very different than the example I showed at the beginning, but it still looks cool, and I think you can get from this the brightness, which is really most of what's different, is all in the glows and a bit in that curves adjustment too. So you can see here it's a little darker. I played with that grid spacing a little, so the effect looks different. It's a little wider here, and just this is different too. And the lines I think are thinner, and there's a little less glow, and obviously the color scheme is different. But you can play with all of this stuff to try to get whatever effect suits your project best. Now this is not an effect I would like just put in a random project. It's more about the techniques used to make this effect that would be used in other things, like that distortion at the beginning, or as I mentioned at the beginning, these little ripple effects. So, thank you for watching this After Effects tutorial. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to you. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something.